Here are 5 bad uke habits which are holding you back. Let me show it to you and let's fix it together. Habit number 1, posture and holding the ukulele in the wrong position. With this posture, you're not gonna get far. So stop doing this and let's learn how to play it in the right way. I see many players hold their instrument in a very low position where the neck drops downwards. You don't want to do that because that affects your playing enormously. That's where everything begins. So as you can see right now, the neck of my ukulele is dropping and that creates an angle within my wrist, a very uncomfortable angle. And after a few minutes of playing, I start having tension right over here. It's a very unpleasant feeling. So try to avoid that by lifting the neck, pretty much moving upwards. You see, being a bit closer to the cheek. What you can do when you cross the legs, it gets a bit higher to your cheek and you feel it in your fingers. So basically playing becomes a little bit easier. And here's another important point to help you hold this instrument in the right way. Make sure the backside of the ukulele is pressing against your belly. This keeps a very firm position without your instrument going all over the place. And the final recommendation is to choose the right chair to sit on. The way we sit or how high we sit can affect the way we play. So I'm currently sitting on the piano stool, a piano chair, where you can regulate the height, which is perfect because everyone is different. I'm 1.80 m, I guess. So anyway, what is important here is that the angle of your knee needs to make around 90 degrees, right? You don't want your knee to drop because the moment it drops, the instrument has the tendency to drop with it. So it's not very comfortable to hold it. So I see very often people sitting on the couch in very awkward positions. The problem with that, well, the first problem is that you might have back pain. The second issue, actually, it has to do with the sound. So the way we sit affects the angle of your fingers. And when the angle is not curved enough, not relaxed enough, you can hear it in your playing. So you pretty much end up playing the same 4 chords, the same 4 easy chords for years and years without progressing to something a little bit more difficult. Here's a mini exercise for you to work on the posture and the way you hold the instrument. Start by positioning the instrument in the correct angle, keeping it right next to the belly, the neck goes up, right, that doesn't drop, and try to play a song, try to play a very easy song, any song you like, and try to wobble around a little bit, right? So just move a little bit on the chair with your body going right and left. At the same time, make sure that the ukulele moves together with your body. It doesn't slide. So you have to train this firm position, this feeling that the instrument is an extension of your body and it moves along with it. Habit number 2, pressing too hard. So here's a common mistake which a lot of players do. Pressing too hard on the frets. The thing is, pressing too hard with the left hand kills our technique enormously and it doesn't add anything to the sound. It's important to understand that the control of the sound comes from the right hand. So if you want to play louder, you pluck a bit harder with your right hand. If you want to play softer, you pluck a little bit softer. However, that has nothing to do with your left hand. So here's a great exercise to help you fixing this bad habit. Take the index finger in the left hand and bring it towards the first string, first fret. Don't press, just bring it towards the end of the fret because that's the sweet spot, that's where we want to be pressing. Yet have kind of a muted sound, right? So don't press yet, just keep it around the string, just touching the string very gently. So this is the sound you want to have, a very nasty sound actually, right? And then keep the rest of the fingers round and curved. And now gently start pressing towards the fretboard and be very mindful. Don't overpress while plucking the string. At a certain point, the sound will open up because of the pressure and you'll hear the note. And that's the indication of the amount of pressure you should use in order to get the right sound. Let's do it again. That's about it. We don't want to overpress. The same thing you can do with your middle finger on fret 2. It can be on the first string, it can be on the second string. third, it doesn't really matter which fret, but you do want to train each finger independently. So let's try the second finger. I'm bringing my middle finger to the second fret on the first string, making sure that I'm pressing a little bit towards the end of the fret next to the separation line, keeping all the fingers round and curved, and then starting with a muted sound and little by little putting pressure, and the sound opens up. That's where I stop. All right, habit number 3, dynamics. I bet you guys have the question of what is dynamics, so let me answer that. Dynamics is the soul of music, and it's very important. Think about a conversation. Sometimes we're excited, we raise our voice. From happiness, we shout out loud. Sometimes we whisper very gently. We're very shy. So the same thing happens in music. It has to feel organic. So in other words, sometimes we play louder, sometimes we play softer in the same song, even over the same chord. It's a wavy feeling where we express our emotions and feelings through the music. So what I hear many players do is completely neglecting dynamics and playing everything with the same intensity. I think it really kills the music because the music stops being groovy, it stops feeling organic, it becomes very robotic, and it's something to avoid. Let me give you 2 examples of a strumming pattern. One will be without dynamics, the other will be with dynamics. It's the same strumming. Check it out. Here's the one without the dynamics. And here's the one with. Personally, me, I prefer the second one. It has more oxygen, it's very organic, and it's very pleasant to the ear. The first one was very aggressive, and it was pretty much at the same volume throughout the whole pattern. We don't want that. Here's an exercise to help you implement dynamics into your playing. Let's start with strumming. Here is the strumming pattern. It goes like this. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, I was using 4 chords, C, A, M, F, and G. I want you to start with strumming everything very softly. So it will sound like this. Now we're going to add an accent on the second strum, making it sound a little bit louder and more distinct. Loud, loud, loud. Here is the 4th habit, not looking at the fretboard. So that's another very common habit. We tend to look at the fretboard all the time. I suggest you not to do that. There's so many other things you can do with your eyes when playing, interacting with other musicians, looking at the audience, reading from the score. Therefore, you need to train your left hand fingers to be independent and not to control them with your eyes. So here are 2 exercises to help you gain the confidence of not looking at the fretboard. Start by playing a song that you like, or just maybe a few chords. I'll give you an example of the chords C, G, A, M, and F. Try to play any strumming or any finger picking pattern and train yourself not to look at the shapes, not to check on your left hand fingers. What you can also do, you can choose a point in your room to focus on. Well, I have a lamp over there, so I'm going to be looking at the lamp, making sure I'm not looking at my fingers. And here is a second exercise which will work on your muscle memory and positioning of the left hand. So for this exercise, we're going to use the thumb in the right hand to pluck individual strings. And we're going to be using 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, index, middle, ring, pinky. Each finger is assigned to a fret. And what I want you to do is assign every finger, index, middle, ring, pinky, to a fret on the first string and pluck it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back. 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm training a sensation in my finger. So every finger feels the separation line, the fret, right on the right side, basically touching my finger very gently, and that's the sensation I'm after. That gives me an indication that I'm pressing at the right spot. Therefore, I don't need my eyes. I don't need to check on my fingers anymore. So here let me play the second string for you. 1, 2, 3. Looking for that sensation of the separation line, the fret. Going to the third string, keeping my fingers round and curved. It helps the positioning. 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's our final bad habit. Jumping between songs without mastering one. I know it's a hard one because we want to play so many songs and have fun, which is a very important thing. We play music for fun, but if you want to progress and play more complicated pieces in fingerstyle, chord melody, it's very important to take one step at a time and to look into those fine details in every song, in every chord, in every transition, because that's the real progress. So next time, rather than playing 10 incomplete songs, play 2, but make sure those are finished and you are able to play them in front of people. How about that? And the next time you start learning a song, make sure to look into the posture, into the right hand, into the left hand, all those little details that we've talked about today. So remember, quality over quantity. That's the way to progress. Alright guys, these were the 5 bad habits on the ukulele and the way to fix them. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. This is a very easy way to show appreciation towards my work. One more thing. If you want to spice up your playing on the ukulele in no time, I'm welcoming you to check out my Patreon community. That's where I'm doing live stream classes, releasing tutorials, and teaching you guys on how to become the best ukulele player you can be. The link to my Patreon is in the description. I hope to see you all there. See you guys.